This is a video on aldol reactions. The learning objectives of this video are to know the mechanisms for aldol condensation and retro-aldol for base-catalyzed reactions only. Aldol condensation is a reaction in which the enolate ion of one carbonyl compound reacts with the carbonyl group of another carbonyl compound to form a new carbon-carbon bond. Aldol condensation consists of two parts. The first part is aldol addition, and the second part is dehydration reaction. The first part of this reaction is a three-step process that combines two types of aldehyde ketone reactivities, the acidity of the alpha-proton and the electrophilicity of the carbonyl carbon to form a beta-hydroxycarbonyl compound as the product. The alpha-proton is a hydrogen on the carbon beside the carbonyl group of the aldehyde or ketone. Please pause the video and circle the alpha carbons in these examples. Shown here is the mechanism for this reaction. The first step is a proton transfer, where the strong base or the base-catalyzed removes the alpha-proton from the aldehyde or ketone group, resulting in the formation of a resonance stabilized enolate anion. The enolate anion is a nucleophilic, and the alpha carbon atom that was deprotonated is a reactive center that attacks the carbonyl carbon of another aldehyde molecule. The intermediate containing the alkoxide ion is protonated by water or an alcohol solvent. This results in the formation of a beta-hydroxycarbonyl compound. Shown here is a reaction for the two-step product that eliminates the hydroxide group to form the final product, the alpha-beta unsaturated aldehyde or ketone. This is a special type of elimination called E1CB. Heat is added and the aldol condenses. Shown here is the mechanism. The first step is a proton transfer, and then it's followed by the loss of the leaving group, the hydroxyl group, which is irreversible. The newly formed carbon-carbon pi bond is in conjugation with the carbonyl group, which stabilizes the molecule. The most stable alkene isomer is formed. The beta-hydroxyaldehyde or ketone are consumed. Before we proceed, here are some tips. First, the reaction requires a strong base, typically hydroxide ion in water solvent. Second, an aldehyde or ketone group must be the source where the enolate ion can form and attack another carbonyl carbon. Third, intermolecular aldol reactions are preferred if 5 or 6 membered rings can be formed. As such, here's the example of the workup. Here's an analogy that might help you with predicting the final alpha-beta unsaturated carbonyl compound. I call this the key and lock analogy. Given two compounds, determine which one is the electrophile and which one's the nucleophile. The electrophile will pose as the key, E with the E, and then the nucleophile will pose as a lock, C, and the nucleophile has C. Imagine the alpha carbon as the padlock. Here's the workup. Line up the molecules so that the alpha and carbon is the lock and the carbonyl group is a key. Insert the key and we have our product, the most stable geometric alkene isomer. Let's try these examples. Predict the product and draw the mechanisms. For all three examples, I have provided the predicted final product using the key and lock analogy, and then afterwards I have shown the mechanism of the reaction. Note the loss of the hydroxyl group and the regeneration of the base catalyzed. See how this elimination has drawn arrows as all as one step? This is wrong because it's not one step, it's not an E2 reaction, but it's a special case of an E1CD reaction. Therefore, this carbo anion must be drawn and the step must have been shown in the mechanism. Here's a last analogy to help you remember the two-part composition of an aldol condensation reaction. The first part of the name aldol is a name blending of the two functional groups, like a happily married couple, present in the product, an aldehyde and an alcohol. This reaction applies to both aldehyde and ketone groups. The aldol product is favored for most aldehydes, and the reverse reaction, the retro-aldol reaction, is favored for most ketones. The second part, condensation, means the combination of two molecules to form a larger molecule with the loss of a smaller byproduct that condenses out. Hope you enjoyed this video.